Hello, my name is Blanche and I want to talk about something really private, which is my disease. I have the endometriosis, and so I want to talk about how I found out I have this disease, and I really want to talk about how I cured this disease. Today I'm not sick anymore, and I would never thought I could be cured one day, so I'm really happy. So let's find out what happened. 5 years ago I had a lot of pain. I always had a lot of pain during my period, but this time I was in Scotland and I could not even stand up, I could not sit down, I could not do anything. And when I came back to France, my country, I went to see a doctor, and she said it could be the endometriosis. I didn't know anything about this disease, and I went for a lot of tests, and they found out I have cysts, 4 cysts in my ovaries. And after that, we tried some treatment to see if the cysts could resorb, but it never happened, never worked, and the treatment was actually really bad. So I had a surgery a year after I found out my disease. So I remember when I was waiting for the surgery, I had this voice in my head saying, you are going through a big surgery and you're not dying, you're not, like, is it really worth it? I had this little voice saying, is it the only way? I stayed 5 days in the hospital. I stayed an entire month in my bed to recover. In 5 years I had 3 different treatments, which are pills like birth control, but I have to take it every day, so it did stop my period, so I didn't have my period for 5 years. The first treatment was really strong, was okay with me, but I had new spots, and I actually gained a lot of weight. I was almost 15 kilos more than I am now. Then after, I would say, a year and a half, I changed my treatment, and it was bad. So for 2 months I had another treatment, and I was really horny all the time. It's really funny to say, but when I had all of this horny period, it did change my personality, and I did stuff I would never do or never say if I didn't take this treatment. So then I changed and I had another treatment, which gave me so many spots, like I was 15 years old all over again. That was really annoying. At the beginning of the year, that I wanted to stop taking my treatment because I know birth control is not really good for you, and I take it for 5 entire years, every day of my life, and I hated my body. I didn't recognize my body, and I had so much spot. Like, my mom would laugh all the time when she see me, because she's like, you're such a teenager, but I'm not a teenager. She's like, you have so many spots. I'm like, it's not my fault, it's my treatment. Anyway, so I began to research, and I just knew dairy is really bad for endometriosis, and red meat. What happened, how I cured, is my mom one day called me and she told me, oh my god, there is this diet, it's amazing, it can cure cancer, it can cure a lot of things, and I'm sure if you do it, it's really healthy and you are going to cure it. I'm like, no way. Because my mom, she wasn't really helpful when I had my disease. She didn't really think about it, she didn't pity me, or she didn't really care. She always said it's my fault if I have the endometriosis, like I'm making myself with my mind, like it's psychologically. Anyway, it was really annoying. So when she called me and she was like, oh, you should do this diet and I'm sure you will heal, I'm like, nah. But I wanted to prove her wrong, so I did the diet. So the diet is a raw food diet. I don't know if you heard about it, but it's really famous to heal a lot of things. But I didn't even research on the internet or anything. I just tried the diet. So if there is even 1% chance that this can cure my freaking disease, then let's do it. 1% is worth it, because I had no other choice. I want kids. I didn't change right away my entire diet. I just went really slowly. right away I felt really more connected to my body. I could go to the toilet more often, which is really important when you're in endometriosis. And I keep my treatment, okay? I was still on my treatment. But I began to feel really good. So I continued this diet, and then after, so it was in January, and then in April I was in New Zealand, and I had this, suddenly I had this pain in my lower belly, and I could not walk, I could not stand up for 3 days. The second day I asked a friend to take me to the emergency in New Zealand, which is always scary because, you know, it's not your country, you don't know how is the medicine there. And anyway, I went there because I could not stand up, so I could not walk. Like, it was so painful, even if I didn't move at all. It was crazy. So I went there and they checked everything. She checked everything. I never had this in my life. Like, they checked my belly, my everything. I felt like so much more than naked in there. So after 1-2 more days, I felt better. I could stand up. I felt better because they told me there is nothing wrong. So I was like, okay, if there is nothing wrong, I'm not dying, so let's move on. So this happened. It's really important because I actually realized later that when you cure, you actually have a big pain at a moment, because it's your body cleaning, it's your body healing, so it's normal to feel a lot of pain. And I didn't know at this time, so I was like, oh no, I did this diet for nothing and whatever. I wasn't 100% on a raw food diet. I was like 90%, but it did still work. So anyway, and then I came back in France and in July, and I had everything checked. So I went to my doctor, my surgeon, and I told him this story, and we went to scan my body to see if I have any cyst, anything wrong. So the doctor who scanned my body, he said, you know, if you didn't tell me you have endometriosis, I would not even guessed it. Like, look at your body, it's perfect, there is nothing. So I was really happy. For me, I did heal. I never felt this good before. So I was like, okay, the second step now is to stop my treatment, stop my birth control treatment, and see if I can have my period and how my body reacts to my period. It would be the best test ever. So I stopped my treatment and I wait for my period to come. I thought I was going to wait like 2 months, but I wait 5 weeks, and then I had my period. Usually when I have my period, I feel like my belly is really like hard and big and stretching or something, and then I know I'm going to have my period, and I begin to have pain and I'm feeling super tired. But this time I had my period and I was like, oh my god, I have my period. Like, I didn't feel anything in my body. It was weird, but I didn't feel any pain for the first time of my life. I had blood coming and nothing happened. Like, it was amazing. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. And because I didn't believe it could work. Like, you always hope for the best, but you never know if it's going to work. So what I do now is I'm going to check every 6 months with my doctor, my surgeon, to see if nothing come back. A lot of my spot actually disappeared after 2 weeks when I stopped my birth control treatment. So I had no spot anymore, and it was awesome. And I feel like my body was like heavy, like it wasn't fat, but like everywhere. And now I never felt this beautiful before. I felt really thin, because with the raw food diet I actually lost 10 kilos. So it's helping a lot to feel good. I'm really grateful that I am connected now to my body in this way, because even in a spiritual way, it's amazing how much I grow and how much I change in just a year thanks to this diet. Is please, if you know someone who has pain during her period, please tell her having pain in your period is not normal. So let me know if you like this video, if you learned something. If you have a question, please ask me. I just wanted to share my experience with you. If I can help someone, I wish I watched a video like this one 5 years ago because I could have healed 5 years ago and my life would have been easier, but you know, it's 5 years with endometriosis is already good, and I didn't try to have a baby yet. Tell me if you knew about this disease. I want to tell you that 1 woman out of 10 has this disease. So I see you next week because I actually want to make a video about this diet more precisely, like how I begin really slowly to change my diet so my body wasn't like, it wasn't painful for my body to change diet too fast, and what I eat in my day and my month. And because now that I cured, I cannot change my diet anymore, because if I go back each time I eat rice, pasta, I feel the heaviness in my body. I feel it's bad for my body, it's hard to digest, it's painful in my belly. I stop meat totally and do not eat dairy. So I can talk about it, and please let me know if you have questions. Bye! And yeah, see you next week.